Welcome, everybody, to the Journeymen Lounge podcast.
You better be praying to God because, you're 14 and losses in a row. You're going to need Jesus.
Am I wrong?
I thought you were pretty wrong, yeah.
Welcome to the Journeymen Lounge podcast, episode 108, part 2. Just probably notice on these, have a little bit of a different naming convention. Hopefully, the TJLP is kind of as we're going to be known going forward on the certain websites and see how old I am.
Just in the
website.
video, just
in our
in
YouTube
the video
videos
description
to kind of reduce our
so we can add more
naming conventions.
We can add more to what the video, this particular video, will be about. I'm trying it out.
Sure. Try it out.
Like, obviously, it'll still show up the Journeymen Lounge podcast underneath as the channel or whatever, but in the individual video description, it'll be...
Yeah, we'll show you that this is, again, this episode is movie review of What Lies Beneath. That was my video selection. That's from 2000.
Lies Beneath.
So let's go, and there'll be a nice graphic right there. So let's go with the experience of the movie, because I believe that this movie was a first for most of us, if not all of us. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I was aware.
Ryan's never seen it.
I was aware.
You
of
have.
Yeah, I've seen it
Okay.
a few times.
I knew about it, and unfortunately, a little bit of the ending was kind of spoiled for me. Not like completely, but I knew.
Sucks.
I'm not gonna get into it. But something was up with someone.
I'll explain
I didn't know
this.
what.
I'll explain this.
I didn't know to what extent,
Gotcha.
but I knew there was something there. But that being said, still enjoyed watching it.
Sure. Yeah, first time for me. Again, this was kind of Christy's recommendation.
It was
Of course
good.
it was. Yeah, great recommendation. We appreciate
Which
making him a man.
I feel like I heard of the film at some point. I just never, it was never in something that I would see in the theaters or even like we would rent at home. Now seeing it though, I will say some of the like comments that I will make is through the lens of like you saw it for the first time. You're not going to grasp everything, but I would like almost like a second pass at it to see like, did I miss something here, whatever. But overall, like the thrilling aspect of it, this is again more in my lane of the scarier kind of genres, is like, yes, there's some shit that goes on that I'll explain, but more often like I'm shying away from the gory, the slasher, that type of shit. I'm going more in the jump scares and type of shit, which is what this one kind of falls in, right?
Yeah, this was good. This is a movie I knew about. I wasn't into horror at the time, so I didn't see it. But I remember it, like, especially Scary Movie 2 making fun of it. And the one part is, like, the one part with the...
Your wife.
Yeah, who's going to find out? Your wife. And it's Sean Wayans or whatever.
Sure.
So I remember them parodying it.
Agreed.
And I don't, and I got into horror maybe like 12 years ago. So, and this is always the one that I always wanted to see, but just for whatever reason, I just didn't see it. Like, but I'm like, oh, like, if it was on or like if I saw it streaming something, like I should definitely check it out. And I'm glad that you chose it, so I got to do that. So I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a good deal. I like how, without giving away too many spoilers or anything, kind of like went like one way and then went to another way and then ended up another way, like 3 different ways it took you on.
Crisscross
with like
applesauce,
what you think we thought it was going to be about.
I'll talk about red herrings.
Sure, but like it kind of was like one type of movie and then another type of movie and then turned out to be another type of movie, but they all like blended it and it worked really well. And I didn't know until afterwards, but Robert Zemeckis directed this.
Yes,
he's fantastic, and you can tell like a lot of great looking shots in this movie, and you can tell like 'cause he has a great eye for it. Obviously, did Back to the Future, Forrest Gump. On and on and on.
I'm surprised you didn't pick up on that right away, but all right.
No, I knew I figured someone big had directed it, but I wasn't sure it was Zemeckis. But no, it looked really awesome, and it's great to see.
I mean, Back to the Future, a writer for Contact, Flight, which
Flight,
I know is one
Contact,
of your
a lot of Who's Framed Roger Rabbit.
He's done just a
love
myriad
that one
of different
too.
Castaway, which actually, full fact, he filmed this in between filming Castaway. While Tom Hanks lost weight, like, he used to lose weight on the movie. He's like fat when he goes to the island. From the end of it, he's like skinny. He filmed this movie in between while waiting for Tom Hanks to lose the weight to finish Castaway. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well.
Interesting fun factoid.
Yeah, but
all right, Bobby. So you said you saw it, and this is like a more Yeah,
actually, I
few
saw
times?
this. I saw this. I think I want to say it was whether it was in high school or just out of high school. Big Harrison Ford fan, so I'm kind of on his radar. So when he came out with this, it was a fun thriller. I'm surprised that this is the first time for both you guys. Interesting enough, because I at least not so much for Woj, but for you, I'm just shocked at that a little bit.
I just explained. I didn't get into it I wasn't into it at the time when it came out. I got into horror later, and
Wasn't
then
a horror fan.
hadn't watched this one.
And apparently, I just say whore. Like
whores.
Yeah, I guess my Boston whore thing.
If you caught in the last couple horror. Movies.
Those horror movies.
Bobby drops the OR. If you
She
know what
was
I
a
mean.
whore.
Whore. Yeah.
So let's get into before I get into the synopsis. I just want to also mention real quick here. Zemeckis directed it. Clark Gregg, who was in a lot of the Marvel stuff, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show, a bunch of other stuff. He is one of the writers.
He wrote it. Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting. And Sarah Kernochin, nothing, I think, of too much notoriety. And good on you, though, Sarah. Nice job. We all loved it. So let me do the synopsis, and I'm going to do the mentioning of kind of everything with these twists and turns that Ryan's talking about. You got something to say?
I was just saying, I think, you should do like a general spoiler-free one and then be like spoilers and get more into it, because it is you could kind of do like a very brief.
I was just going to mention that there are three aspects while also combining the story of where we're going. So it is basically Norman Spencer, played by Harrison Ford, and Claire Spencer, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. They are Harrison Ford's character is a researcher at a university. He's getting paid a big grant to do this research with. I forget the actual context of the research.
Like
I think it was medical,
study.
like brain
it's
related.
like medical or chemicals, or
it's like
chemical
sleep
synopsises in your brain.
Yeah,
or like
something along those lines, that they were doing experiments at a university. A lot of money behind it, like a well-respected person of the community. And then Claire was basically stay-at-home mom. A little more context she got in an accident a year ago.
Car accident, right?
Car accident a year ago where her car veered off the road. You'll figure more about that at some other point. And they are getting their daughter is going to college.
Her daughter.
I'm sorry, her daughter. Thank you. Her daughter's going to college. And she's obviously very emotional about it. They also have this new pair of neighbors, the Fuhrers, with James Remar, fucking solid, dude. I love that. And Miranda Otto. They're the Fuhrers who are like, you hear a lot of bickering and things like that. There's some interesting things that we'll kind of go into as we go through this review. And then I would also say that Claire is starting to feel like the house is like this weirdly presence, that there's a haunting in it, or things are happening. Go ahead and add more some.
I would say the basic plot, like there's the general non-spoiler, like one sentence, like it focuses on Claire, who suspects there's a female ghost haunting their house, and she doesn't know why or what's happening. There's other things that go around with that, but that's like a basic, like, she thinks the house is haunted, and like no one believes her that the house is haunted, and or something's going on, or she might be going crazy.
Sure,
we don't know if it's
this.
one of
I
them.
think it's a slow pull out of call it
Mm-hmm.
reality, because she definitely illustrates some of those signs of like, dude, you're fucking losing it. Like verbally accosting his colleague, like, you murdered your wife. Like, you have no proof of that. Like, it's none of your goddamn business.
Yeah, I would also say that again, her paranoia is kind of being put onto these Marion Warren Fuhrer, like they're bickering. She's investigating more. She's like, what's happening over here? There's got to be something. Yeah. She thinks at one point the husband puts the wife in the trunk, and there's like tire marks coming out of it. So,
and I think too, us as an audience, it's kind of like we don't know whether we should trust Claire or not. Like, if we're seeing what she's seeing, or if we're seeing what's actually happening.
There's a little bit of drug use with Valium, so you kind of are not buying.
Like, something might be going on, but something might. We don't know what to believe. kind of almost like reminded me of a little, not exactly, but like a little like Shutter Island.
Shutter Island, yeah.
Where it's like you don't know what you're seeing is all quite there. What we're seeing is like layers.
Yeah, let me jump in with just the kind of
donkey like an onion.
Layers.
This is a movie that I think does a very good job of putting out a red herring, which is just again like something that is there to kind of distract you from the actual plot, or it's just again a way of twisting you this way to turn you this way. You mentioned Shutter Island. I also got The Usual Suspects, huge turn of that. Psycho, Scream, I would say definitely is up there. Shutter Island, Gone Girl, fucking love that one. Memento.
Yeah. I would say it definitely leans into like Hitchcock, like Rear Window, and Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf is kind of like a Rear Window, where it's kind of like you know, the person, your neighbor. Are they a murderer? Or are you seeing things?
Sure.
I like the Hitchcock reference. There you go.
Yeah, it kind of is like a Hitchcock movie.
Psycho.
Yeah, I definitely would. I mean, I don't know. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if Clark Gregg was inspired by Hitchcock or Zemeckis when making this movie. It seems like it kind of.
I got that feel a little bit. Yeah, for sure. So again, that's like the one sentence turn of it. Let's
spoilers now.
Yeah, well, like
it's a 25-year-old movie.
I mean, do we want to just like go through the spoilers, or do we want to go through the scenes that will eventually?
Whatever you think, whatever you like. What if you want to get more into if you want to go, I don't know. Do you want to go over the plot in general first with the spoilers? Or do you want to?
Yeah, let's do the more specific plot, which I'll just kind of go through it like. The red herring couple, the Fures, is just basically there as a distraction. Yeah. It has nothing to do with the actual meat of the story.
Although Claire does find things out that do tie in later with the actual thing that happens.
And you're going to point those out, I'm sure.
No, I just wanted to say that.
No, I don't remember that exact connection. But so, yeah, they have this couple that's, again, there's arguments. She thinks that she sees the wife put on into the trunk. The wife is there. Shows up, hey, what's up? I'm still here. She confronts him at a.
Well, she was missing for a little bit, or when Claire would go over to the house and she wouldn't be there, and you're like, where is she?
He was like, she's out. She's out.
It did seem a little suspect for it a little.
Sure, and then again, the wife ends up meeting him at the hospital. So I think that moment just kind of dissolves that, where the paranoia is just showing.
Yes,
this is like she was completely making that up. Not you can't trust anything there. Then you get into as she's kind of like getting these feelings and stuff like that. Again, we find out that there is an actual like haunting.
Well, things keep happening specifically in the bathroom with the tub, where the steam coming out of it, and no one took a bath or anything.
Right.
And
the tub
is full all the way, and then you see. Again, it's kind of getting into scenes, but you see in the mirror a girl in the background, a woman of sorts, and then when she looks in the tub,
woman with green eyes
to drain the tub, again another woman to the side in the reflection of the tub water, and things kind of just keep happening where like the picture frame keeps falling down of this specific picture, and like or Claire will see something in there. They live on a lake. And she sees like a dead woman in the lake, and there's like a box in there, which we'll get into what that is, and she keeps unveiling more and more of the mystery of the movie of what actually happened, who this girl is, and what happened, and how it relates directly to her and Harrison Ford's character.
It's a confirmation that, again, there is a haunting of this. You see all these different scenes and instances of this put together where, like, again, I think this is also kind of the unveiling of, like, this without a doubt is for real. You have actual moments where, like, this is broken, she steps on something. Like, I think there's a couple different instances that Robert Zemeckis does, like, here is a thing that happened, and then there's a little bit of a confirmation, like, that it actually did happen.
Well, and,
go ahead.
And the red herring thing sets up the paranoia kind of thing the rest of the movie, or, like, the non-trust with Claire, because she looks kind of crazy, and then when the wife comes of the couple,
Mary Fure,
she's okay, you're like, well, is she fucking crazy now? Like, what's going on? But like, then we, like you said, we do see some paranormal things that are like something's going on.
Sure. And so now you're at the point where the ghost has made themselves kind of apparent, and you start to also get the unraveling of, as Claire's investigating Mary Elizabeth Fure, or something like that, MEK. I'm sorry, MEF. Sorry. letters are hard. So as she's investigating MEF, she's also coming across that there was a student at the university that Harrison Ford was at, I believe. I don't think he's at currently.
No, well, no, I think she was one of. I think she went to the school he teaches at. Yeah, I think.
Oh, maybe. Okay,
Yeah.
so maybe at the school that he teaches at, there is now a student that was missing.
Went missing over like a year and a half ago or something.
Right. And same initials line up. The investigation basically switches now to this I'm sorry. I got her fucking name right here.
Allegra Cole from Hitch.
Allegra Cole from Nits. But,
I don't know what her character's name is. I forget.
Sorry, her character's name is Madison Elizabeth Frank.
Yeah.
Frank?
MEF, either way.
MEF,
It's
yeah.
important. That's the
You're
important.
right. I think that's right. Madison Elizabeth Frank. Correct.
Yeah, we'll find that for
All
sure.
right, Madison. It's fine.
So, but again, MEF, and then so as she's switching the investigation now things are definitely starting to unravel where Harrison Ford now definitely has a connection to this girl, and she's now again seeing that there are parallels between not parallels, but like there are connections to not only the time in which she had that accident, but then it's like right around that time is like this is when everything began. Like,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Also, almost like what led to her accident, the events that she completely forgot about before her car accident, these things that were going on between her and her husband. And she comes to have these these things happening, and it's like the ghost of Madison is trying to point her in the direction of what happened, and she starts remembering. Oh, now I remember. I came home that one night, and you were fooling around with Madison.
Yeah,
you cheated on me. Now Harrison Ford's not looking like this good husband anymore. And Harrison Ford, we traditionally as an audience are used to him being the good guy.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, Harrison Ford, he's a good guy.
Right, he's Indiana Jones.
Of course, like he messed up, he had an affair,
Solo.
but
he's going to be the good guy.
He regrets it, and he's a good guy and whatever, and you believe him. But then there becomes a certain point where she keeps finding out more and more clues, the key in the vent.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Sorry, yeah. The just more information on the back of which again I don't know what is the actual reality there, but like on the back of the photo is like hey, this is who died on this.
Right, the photo that keeps tipping over. It happens like 4 or 5 times throughout the movie. The same photo keeps breaking. Is the photo of her and Harrison Ford at that dinner party where she didn't remember, but now she remembers. She saw the girl and it freaked her out, and that's why she got in the car accident in the first place.
Yes,
because she was upset about the affair with her and Harrison Ford, and she forgot completely about that. And actually, I think a woman at a party reminded her of it. That's how she remembered.
There's that, and then also her friend, which I have a bunch of quotes from, Jody. Yeah. Mm-hmm. She had said that. Oh, I saw them at a restaurant or diner or something
a little
like
coffee
that.
joint.
And then you got into your accident. I didn't want to
scare you.
And then he was there. And I didn't know if it was my place, kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
So then again, everything's starting to unravel, and then the fucking we're kind of into scenes.
Awesome.
Here, the fucking snap twist.
I just want to say the last half hour is fantastic.
Yeah. So we'll just
of this movie.
Let's just run through that real quick.
Yeah.
So you basically have. Her again realizing at that point like he is not only involved with this girl, but he actually makes up a story of she was obsessed with me. She kept writing me letters. She ended up breaking into our house, overdosing on pills, and I thought it was like the best thing to just.
Right. He's not only involved with her as an affair, but involved with her getting rid of her body. And
right. He basically says like, "Oh yeah, I hid the body. I put it in a car and pushed it into the river."
Guys, he straight up murdered her.
Well, no. Hold on. So,
maybe, yeah.
No. I kind of just explain though. That's the best part of this is that story he's trying to still get out of it.
Plausibility, sure.
He's trying to convince her like, you're just crazy. Like I didn't do this. I didn't have anything to do with it. Then you get the the snap though of Harrison Ford now finally knowing like, oh shit, now she's like really not believing her. I gotta get rid of her. He does a chloroform or whatever the chemicals is on her face.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry, am I skipping something?
No, I was going to say there's a couple things. Well, he says, what can I do to make it better. And she says, "Well, you need to get the police. They have to be involved." So he hands her the cordless
Oh, that's
phone.
right. That's right.
411.
He dials.
Yeah.
We think he dials 911, and he says, "Send an officer to the house. I have something to say." She goes upstairs. The bathtub's on. Phone's on the whatever nightstand or whatever thing in the hallway.
She hits redial.
And she hits redial. It's 411. So now you know. Oh shit. He was involved. Comes up behind her again with the chemical that they were coming up with that they talked about earlier in the movie, which was when you use it, it paralyzes you. You're awake through all of it, but you can't move your body. But you're aware of what's happening to you. So he
like law-abiding citizen when he squeezes.
Right.
Yeah.
He uses it on her, and she tries to escape, but her legs go completely
Right.
dead.
So she is paralyzed by the thing, and then now he is basically setting up her suicide. Tub filling up, and
which is probably what he did with the other girl, which is why they keep going back to the tub, I'm assuming.
It's got to be, yeah. So he did that to the other girl, most likely does it to Claire, and then basically you have this kind of like, not perfect sequence, but like how she gets out is that she starts to kind of regain some feeling back, and then also the ghost of Mary Elizabeth Frank definitely helps her out.
Knocks Harrison Ford to the ground, hits his head on the sink.
So Harrison Ford's a little concussed and a little, kind of out of it. She finally is starting to get her stuff together. She gets going. Her legs kind of move. She gets into the car. Harrison Ford's fucking still alive, fucking running after her, jumping on top of it.
He's in the boat attached to the back of the car.
Chase scene goes down into the river.
And if you remember, too, she can't make the cell phone call till she gets across the bridge or the top of the bridge.
We're going to talk about that shit.
Oh, I'm just saying that, and then they go, into the river, and the ghost ends up helping her out.
Basically taking Harrison Ford down while allowing Claire to escape.
But there are more specifics I like to talk about with those.
Yes, for sure.
But that's a basic.
I mean, that was the last 30 minutes. It was just fucking heart pounding.
It was fucking really good. Like it made me. I was watching it, and I was watching it pretty intently. But sometimes, I'd look at my phone, and write something, and just have it keep playing. But when that last 30 minutes was happening, I was locked in. I was sitting up, taking notice, and
hell yeah,
holy crap, this is gripping, suspenseful, and
yeah.
I like how, like I said, it was kind of like three movies. Like at first, it's like a Hitchcock movie. The neighbor's crazy. Is the neighbor a murderer? What's going on? And then it turns into a ghost thing where it's like,
the supernatural,
is she possessed or is she crazy?
Yeah.
And then it turns into a crazy, I'm married to a murderer and this guy is a fucking nut job. He's going to kill me. And it turns into this thrilling, that shit. So it had awesome elements of layers, every movie.
It kept you going. It kept a nice, it kind of ended up here.
For me, this movie was when I saw it initially, I was I liked it more as I saw it, and then even after it ended, I liked it a lot more. The more I thought about it, and I watched some stuff on it, people's takes on it, I'm like, wow, that's really true. That's really good. I can really appreciate, especially a lot of the cinematic shots of this movie are really good. Mm-hmm. It's just I think very kind of underrated. This movie is really awesome. I really liked it. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna. Even though we kind of went through the ending scene, we don't have to go through that again. But I'm gonna circle back kind of the beginning. Just a couple scenes that stuck out to me. Mm-hmm. Looking through the photographs, I like the.
Look at this photograph.
There you go, Nickelback. There.
Come on,
it's a good one.
Every time it makes me laugh.
But when a character kind of goes through photographs of some sort of accident and people and stuff like that, I do kind of like it because it gives me a little bit of okay, history. I gotta figure out what's happening here because they show a picture of Norman's father and then the accident and some other things, and then she has kind of a reaction to it, some trauma because of that. So then now I'm kind of and I think she gets startled a little bit. So I'm kind of okay, what is that? What are we doing with the car and how does that play in? So I like that scene in just any movie to give me here's some other shit for you to consider basically, and then as Ryan said, it just kind of wove between. Is this important? Is this not important? And I like how it kind of just unfolded there. Go ahead.
I'm going to go early scenes. This one's kind of a funny one. Doesn't have anything to do with the movie, specifically, but the plot. But Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer, they drop off her daughter at the college, and then they get home. They have the house to themselves, and Harrison Ford is a horny guy in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
They're just trying to,
all
right, let's get it in or whatever. And then they hear the neighbors across the street banging, and they're let's see if we can match him. And he rolls the windows open even more. And it's all right, this is interesting.
We'll talk about those picking
Claire overhearing her neighbor crying through the fence in the beginning. she suspects that the husband is like abusing her.
Right.
Something's going on, which sets up the red herring plot of this. But
Sure.
I think that was done pretty well. Also, there's a cool shot of her looking through the peephole of the fence, and then the girl's eye just comes right into it, which I knew was going to happen. You can kind of tell.
Kind of tell on that one, yeah. I would go with, man, again, the snap of Harrison Ford, not only as he's like, he doesn't straight up tell Claire, like, I murdered her. He doesn't say that. He drops like hints of like as has her in the bathtub. She's like, "Well, Mary didn't make this, much fuss or something." Like he says something like that, and I'm like, "God damn, that's chilling." Like
Cold.
like for sure he was
motherfucker.
doing this type of stuff with Mary and the face swap scene that we kind of talked about. I think it's pretty classic and it's been parodied right, but I just like that it is definitely subtle.
Are you talking about Michelle Pfeiffer in the red dress?
Michelle Pfeiffer and then into
You're saying the spook face, like it gets like
into Amber Valletta, Madison Elizabeth.
Yeah, where
Frank,
she's like
your
wife
through the shade,
sure.
through the shadow.
Oh, okay.
She goes in, right. I think it's just it's a classic scene. I think it always people will remember that scene for sure. I'm gonna just mention some cinematic shots and stuff again in a sec.
I got one that's a combination thereof. Can I at least
go ahead?
So cinematic shot, and
I'm sorry. Are we good on scenes though?
I mean, I got more. Dude.
Yeah, go on scenes. Sorry,
Bobby, if you have a scene,
no, one scene that I guess I found fun, but also at the same time I don't fuck with this because just who I am is. Don't fuck with Ouija. I thought that was kind of a fun, little uplift to the movie. But don't fuck with the Ouija board. Don't open up something that you're not willing to close.
You know what?
Don't touch it. Just
real
don't
quick,
touch it.
real quick tangent. I hate that Ouija board is not spelled Ouija.
Like with a W.
O-U-I-J.
It's all over the place. It's all vowels.
It's fucking dumb as shit. J is not a vowel.
And then sorry, go ahead. I have another cinematic shot.
Okay,
I had a quick ones. These are like kind of like scary ones. Like Claire's trying to fish her dog's tennis ball from the lake. She's the woman's dead body under the water.
Yeah.
Under the pier. Claire's spying on the neighbor across the street with binoculars, and this kind of cinematic shot also, but like it's panning and
Rear
panning,
view,
and then he can't find him, and all of a sudden he's locked in on her, like staring at her, and she thinks he's like gonna come in the house, and then she's a footprint, and she turns around. Harrison Ford's like right behind her.
Sure.
Claire, we talked about Claire sees the bathroom, the tub's full, and the woman is in the mirror and the water, and then the mirror reads, I think her. She's like, "What do you want from me?" She's like, The Ouija board scene, like you said, with the friend, the candle flickers, and you're like, "What the hell's going on?" But it turns out like the dog was like coming in or whatever.
Yeah, it might have been a draft, but. Yeah, I got some picky nits on being a dog owner.
Yeah, everything that you just mentioned was like my cinematic, more of the like.
I know the cinematic.
I put it more not the cinematic shots per se, but just like filming, kind of like production value is like the faces like end up being like a constant thoroughfare here with. And almost any scene, like in any body of water, you have like this face or faint thing. I like that, again, it's spoiler or whatever, but like at the very end of the movie, they pop in a face at the very end as it fades to black.
Yeah.
I like this type of movie. Like this is kind of their thing, is like we're showing these faces, shadows in the dark, stuff like that you think, is it there, is it not there? I'm just generalizing to kind of the style of directing there.
I like when Claire, she's so sure that the guy is the murderer, the neighbor.
James Remar.
She goes to they're like a dinner party or in a hospital. I forget what it was. They're somewhere in public, and she's like, "You did it."
Yeah, they're at like an event at the school.
And then the wife comes. She's like, "Hi, I'm right here."
Yeah.
And she looks nuts. And then like later on, it kind of sets up the scene at the dinner party. They run into her. It's like, "Oh, good seeing you again." And then James Remar waves from across the way, and he goes like this. Like he chokes his wife or whatever.
That was good. I enjoyed that.
And then again, another great kind of this ties in with cinematic and it's a scene, but like the camera pans and it goes to the true villain of the movie, Harrison Ford.
Right.
It goes to James Remar, and then we go over and it goes directly and focuses on Harrison Ford, which is kind of interesting.
Right.
At the time, you don't know it, but looking back at it, it's like, oh shit, that was
definitely
that was good foreshadowing. That was really good. What about everything else?
I got one of the cinematic shots. You already mentioned it. I thought that the lake scene where she sees, like, it's very faint at first, that face beneath the surface, and then becomes more clear. I thought that was done very well. There's another, I guess, cinematic shot too for me was when Harrison Ford and her are out on the sailboat. I thought that you're showing the entire, like, call it Connecticut or like northeast, very pretty. Like, they did a great job of kind of capturing some of that, like, charm, that quaintness to it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mention. We already kind of talked about, it, but like the last like third of this movie, the last like half hour,
it's nuts,
when you finally see who Harrison Ford really is. And he's drowning her in the tub, and like he said, "Oh, well, she didn't scream this much." And and he's so cool with his dog. Like, "Hey, buddy, we're gonna go for a walk," and like, I'm just drowning my wife here, and like you can tell he's like a fucking sociopath or whatever, both, and like just how nonchalant he is, and then the whole like, just how everything like with the tub trying to get the stopper out and. Her going for the keys and the phone and leaving the house and then all that shit. But
last one I have is for me is just they use the side mirror. I kind of dig it. They just have the side mirror open is focused on one thing. Then as soon as she closes it, then shows.
Yes, so good.
Yeah, it just flips back to I believe it's Harrison Ford.
It's Harrison Ford getting up in the house.
Yeah.
And then, like she's trying to get away in the car, and then like it shows her running to the other car or whatever.
She took the wrong keys or something.
Fantastic call. What I was gonna say. That's great. Great call.
What do we got? Anybody else? Cinematic shots.
I like a little before that scene with the mirror when she's going for the cordless phone, trying to make a call, and then she's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna grab the keys and leave." There's a shot of her leaving the front door, and it's like. You can see like Harrison Ford like waking up, and it's zoomed in on his face. Like there's like but she was also kind of like it was like almost like a dual zoom, like with different.
I know exactly
perspectives.
Yeah.
And then also the one where when her legs are dead and he drags her to the floor, and there's like a camera that goes like under the floor.
Yes,
where it's like a glass.
Yeah, so they must have probably had like a glass floor or something, and like it dug out, and it shows. His face and him like bringing her up.
You're right. That was great camera work for that one.
Yeah. And then also like obviously it's very suspenseful. All the shots when he's about to drown her and the tub's just slowly filling up and like her nose is getting higher and higher, and I think it was done really well.
What a sadistic son of a bitch too, because he's just sitting there like I don't think his heart rate went up at all. He was just like, okay. Yeah. All right, this is next on the agenda for tonight, and he's very calculated. So Harrison Ford, great job being truly an evil, psychotic son of a bitch.
Sure. Let's go to casting if we're good on stuff here. So yeah, like I said, Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford, obviously main titular characters. Miranda Otto, James Remar. I'm just gonna mention a couple other ones. Wendy Crewson, Amber Valletta, Joe Morton, kind of rounded out of the more well-known names. I would just say, in terms of that guy, I mean,
I had those people and that guy maybe but I mean, I think you know them more by their face than their names. Some people, I mean, I don't know, like obviously Wendy Crewson is Charlie's mom from the Santa Claus. That's why I know.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of only what she's in there. But to me, I mean, the James Remar is a guy that you kind of I think he fits in the category like older white dude that like you're like, is that the James Remar or is that like this other guy?
I think most people know him as Harry Morgan, Dexter's dad in Dexter. If you watch Dexter,
I think he's definitely in. Prominent in that, but I'm just saying he's in a lot of movies where I feel like, again, you're kind of like, is it James? I wish I could pull another great, like, guy like that, but like, just, could be this guy, but could be this guy. Any other that guy,
well, I mean,
girl?
I don't know if you consider like Joe Morton. He's in, obviously, Miles
T2.
Dyson in T2, American Gangster.
I mean, that's really all that's in there.
I had a random couple. I think Allegra Cole from Hitch. I don't know
Allegra Cole
her
from
name.
Hitch, yeah.
And then a random one.
Miranda Otto was in Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Damn it. All right, you got mine.
I'm sorry, Bob.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's fine.
When Harrison Ford fakes his being in the tub with the
electrocution.
dryer,
Yeah.
The EMT who checks him out, the woman, was the secretary for Jennifer Garner in 13 Going on 30. I don't know why I know that, but she was.
Because 13 Going on 30 is your
You
favorite
watched
movie.
that a
I've
bunch,
seen it
huh?
a couple times.
It's your favorite movie.
It's not my favorite, but
It's your
I enjoy
The
it.
fact that you've seen it a couple times is funny.
Well, so, you know, actually, specifically,
Well,
He's like, well, actually, I own it.
no, I don't own it. I don't dislike it, but you know,
You love it.
it was on TV when I was growing up a lot. I would check it out. I like Jennifer Garner.
Check it out.
And
man.
I don't
also-
find her attractive.
Okay.
All right. Moving
So-
forward.
We had it on at work. Someone put on like a month ago, and I was like, "Oh, it popped in
So
my head."
you're locked in.
Yeah, I remembered.
So your favorite movie is 13 Going on 30. Glad we got
Excellent. I'm
that.
glad we got that.
Thank
That
you.
sorted out. Yep.
I did not say that. Let the record show. I did not say that.
It's not my favorite movie, but you know what? For being a chick flick, I enjoy it.
Okay.
I like Mean Girls if you're going to go chick flick. All right.
Yeah, I mean, with Crew, to me, you can try. I don't even think the cast is that big enough because it's really just centered around Norman and Claire.
Oh, yeah, there's not
so
really-
I'm like, I was
yeah.
trying to think like who stole it. Not
There
really
isn't
anybody.
yeah.
I mean, to me, it's like this is a perfect example of Harrison Ford like showing his range of like, hey, I can do a more villainous type of guy as well. Now, granted, I think the role and the character is kind of tailored to him, where like just be kind of suave and debonair for a bit and then go full psycho. Like it actually works out great because you believe Harrison Ford is like he can do that like. I'm an intellect. I'm college
Oh, he
graduate
could play that,
research.
yeah, card
I mean,
very
obviously,
well.
I was
Indiana
president of the
Jones.
United States.
Well, that I mean,
Speaking
fucking
of which,
Air Force
Wendy
One.
Kirsten is his wife in that movie.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. A little connection.
I was
there.
like, if anybody, I would pick her, but I don't really think there's enough performances from anybody to
Bobby, you think there's anybody
to warrant
that's like,
anything. You know,
The only person that I would have liked to seen as possible the neighbor. And
James Remar.
I was actually
Oh
thinking.
yeah, he
of-
was good. Yeah.
I was thinking of Hugh Laurie.
Oh, you think like a
Oh, was it
recasting?
recasting?
In a sorry, I know we're not in recasting, but I was like,
I mean,
in
we can
terms-
go to that, but I just don't think that there's any. Everybody like maybe one of the like Wendy Crewson's husband in that's
Yeah.
like the
That guy's that guy too. I don't know what he's from. I've
the
seen
reason
him in
why I say
something.
that
Dean
Hugh Laurie thing is
Templeton?
House
Yeah.
MD. I think came out right around 2000. Like
2005.
but so this would be
Godfather
prior
Part
to
2.
House, and I think he'd still he'd kind of fit the role for that neighbor who's obviously an academic, but I was thinking of another I want to say Scottish actor, but for the life of me I cannot remember his name, and it bothers me because he's been in a bunch of TV series.
you got like a computer in your hand.
I know, but I
Maybe
still
look
can't
that
figure
up
it out
real
because I can't remember. He's the father of some like psycho in a TV series, and for the life of me I can't remember the name of that TV series. So
Ray Baker. Ray Baker was McClane in Total Recall. Maybe
Maybe
that's what you're
it.
thinking.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Total
not
Recall.
a
There we
huge-
go. That's one.
Not a huge cast beyond that.
I would
but-
say interesting watching this movie that this is kind of like a last starring effort for both of them. Like kind of like Harrison Ford had a little bit more, but Michelle Pfeiffer and them where they're still like leading people for a movie. And then,
I get what he's talking about though. Like
Yeah.
it was kind of like at the last part, they're on the horizon
like
of their.
they were prominent in the 90s and the 80s, 90s, and now they're kind of like transitioning to the new part of their career. And this is
And
one of
just
the
dialing it
last
back.
times where we get to
Yeah.
see them as like main people, not like someone's mom or dad or.
I
some-
understand exactly.
You know
where
what I
you're
mean?
coming from.
Like,
yes.
I mean, Harrison Ford had a couple things obviously in the years to come, but he was older Harrison Ford by this point.
right.
I mean,
This
dude,
is kind of like a last hurrah. I feel
Agreed.
like.
Harrison
Well said.
Harrison Ford in this
Well said.
film definitely made the change from like, hey, I can be the main like everybody is loving me and all this stuff. Now it's like more of like you're in that older phase of like we don't believe your stunts all that much. Like when you're running and doing active shit, I'm like, it's not. You're not doing the action anymore. You're migrating to the rom-com.
Well, it's more like they get more like supporting things. Like, for example, Michelle Pfeiffer, she was like in the Ant-Man stuff, but she was like the mom of the character. So
Right.
she's like, a good quality actress who can bring a good performance, but she's not the main person anymore.
Right.
But like when she's in it, like she's gonna be good. Like,
Hell yeah.
Right. Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? Like she's got the chops or whatever.
She's earned her stripes.
Same thing with
She
Harrison
knows what she's
Ford.
doing.
Like
Yeah.
even with the new like the Star Wars.
I like the believability
sequels.
of the couple though too. Like, and I like the idea that he's this academia. She was at some point with a musician.
Yeah,
they
she was
had
a
a child together.
cellist or violinist or something.
Or I think I'm not sure to like if it was more rock
Cellist.
or
Cellist, right?
cellist,
That's what I
but
thought,
yeah,
yeah.
but she was part of a band and part of that
orchestra.
that lifestyle, and then that kind of went. She gave that up, and then
Well, also they don't
There's
really.
a lot of
I don't
different
think they go
side-
into
yeah.
too much about why the injury has caused her obviously to not be doing that at the time because she's obviously still recovering. But I don't remember a reason of like, oh, you gave this up for marrying Norman
That's
Spencer
the
or
only
something
thing
like
I wish
that.
they would have like maybe dove in another 2-3 minutes into that background
Maybe.
because there's a lot of open threads
Well-
that I want to pull on, but there's not enough there to pull
We
on.
can go into the picking
It's
it. We're
not-
almost
yeah.
we're almost through a couple of these.
All
These are quick hitters right now.
right.
Quotes. I got about 4. Madame Curie, Jonas Salk, Norman Spencer.
That was
I
a
got
fun walk-in.
2. In the beginning, they're talking about the neighbors. Like, what's their name? Fuhrer, I think. Psych department. Figures they're nuts. And then Michelle Pfeiffer's talking to Jodie, her best friend, and she's talking about the neighbor again. She's like, he's just eating dinner by himself, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, call me back if he starts eating some serial killer
Yeah.
dessert.
Nice. I got like lady fingers is the last part of that.
Yeah.
The Jodie is the best part of this fucking movie, comedy wise. She's like, I'd be tripping too.
Yeah, she's great.
She's in her car is like a little convertible, which is a fucking terrible car. I don't know.
Ugly looking son.
I don't
of a
even know what it
bitch.
is, but it's terrible. She's like, think it'll help me pick up dudes?
Yeah.
Cool.
Dude, yeah, midlife crisis is not even a great car. So, and like that's the one thing I was just kind of like bitter about. I was like, here's a woman parading like, oh, the value, the silver lining of divorce.
She
I'm like,
was talking about like, hey, I made off great in the divorce. It's
and I was like, there's the fuck. Like, I could give a shit.
Do you
about
think it
that.
would have been good or better maybe if when Harrison Ford, I know he like calls her to like check in on her the next day, but maybe instead of that, like he's gonna drown her and then Jodie like happens to come upon him and then he has to kill her and then Michelle Pfeiffer has to see him kill her.
Exactly.
And she can't do anything. She's just frozen, like.
I was totally, when I initially saw this movie, I was like, oh, Jodie definitely is gonna be coming around tonight and she's gonna get her fucking
Right, like
she's
something.
dead.
I think
Like,
that could have been good. Yeah.
I think I actually like the way that it played out just because it kind of taps into the intelligent
he's
killer.
calculating. Yeah.
Is kind of doing the more of like the why do any loud work if I don't have to. This is obviously setting up like a suicide situation and stuff like that. So it kind of plays into.
He already had the pills on
I
check,
like
yeah.
again a more calculated guy who's like, this is how we're gonna handle this, and I'm just covering all my tracks.
No, obviously, like he wouldn't have known she was coming over. It'd have been like, oh, well, now I have to kill you.
Oh, you're talking about an unplanned.
I'm saying,
that-
yeah,
exactly.
Like, she
He did-
comes over while he's getting her ready. He puts her in the bathtub, and she walks in on them. He's
Gotcha.
like, "What are
okay.
you doing?" And then he has to like
Improvise,
take her out
essentially.
as well.
Yep.
And then you could still have him call Wendy Crewson's character and be like, "Hey, can you check out my wife in the
Fair
morning?"
point. Yeah, you could definitely do
because there's
that.
2 friends in the movie.
Yeah.
so you could do that.
Definitely sets it. Last one I got is like, what do you want me to do? Buy a Ouija board? And then the next scene is them with a fucking Ouija board. I do find that funny sometimes. Soundtrack. I have one line, general ominous score. That's the entire movie. There's no song.
Yeah, I like the score. It kind of reminded me of Insidious a little bit.
Never saw it, but it was a
obviously
good
Insidious
score.
came
Hold on,
out-
that's a good connection.
Insidious
I
came
like
out
that.
obviously like years later, but it kind of had that like little creepy like with the like I don't know the violin or the wind or like or the string instruments.
You know what I kind of would have liked? Sorry, I'm going on a soundtrack that doesn't exist, but in the last 30 minutes, when they're on the bridge and everything's going crazy, Blue Oyster Cult, come on, don't fear the Reaper. I think that would be great in terms of setting the stage. You're in an old Chevy. Blue Oyster Cult, you're about to, have Harrison Ford go nuts and then drown your ass in a lake. I thought it'd be a cool transition. That's all.
Well, I think the only way that
random
could maybe work is if when she happened to turn the car on, the radio was already on.
Yeah, maybe that'll
Because
work.
otherwise, she's making a call, so she can't have the music on.
Yeah,
no,
you
but
wouldn't-
like I said, no. When he flies through the back window, I thought at that point it comes on.
Yeah.
Just an idea. I'm just saying. Am I a production god? Maybe. Maybe. All right.
Okay. Let's move on to Switcheroo. So we're
Yeah.
Switcheroo prequel sequel is that?
okay. We can do spin-off prequel sequels then first. Sorry. Mine is pretty much right on the nose, but I think it would be a fucking absolute perfect movie. Harrison Ford, Norman Spencer, is actually a serial killer, and he has been doing this across the country. He goes from college to college under this guise of like a research grant, person. Does it in every city, makes these calculated, like, I'm going to pick this girl that nobody knows.
Yeah.
And it just kind of goes from town to town.
I had the same thing.
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. No, that was a good idea. I had the same thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Harrison Ford, it would be a perfect kind of role for that. Now,
Yeah.
Dexter's already done it in a series. I would like to think that there's still an ability to do it in a movie, but it would have to be like a 2-hour 30 movie.
But Dexter's a good guy, though. Dexter kills serial killers.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like,
He's a net benefit to
I guess I was maybe just putting it up as like in a TV series, you have more time to explain backstory and all this stuff. In a movie, a 2-hour,
you have to
2.5
fast track
hour,
it,
you have to fast track it, but you also then have to like move this stuff along.
It has to be like some montages or
You have to do something. I just think
newspaper clippings.
I wish there was a flashback. That's all of her in her artsy or composer days or whatever. Her being part of.
I thought 2 hours and 7 minutes was a little long. Honestly,
You could have got like 20 minutes off. I think you could.
20 is a lot, but yeah,
You could have got rid.
something.
I think you could have got rid of the therapist scenes. They didn't really do anything.
Well, Joe Morton.
I like Joe Morton. I'm just saying he didn't.
I don't-
and-
You're right.
I don't
Actually,
understand.
Come to think about it, that is definitely.
But I don't
forgettable
understand
scene.
why you don't like Joe Morton's a good actor. I'm not. I don't think
good,
he's
yeah.
a fantastic actor or anything crazy. But like, when you give a therapist like, well, how did that make you feel? I was
right.
like, is this guy? Do you need somebody of prominence to do this role? Could you just got any Joe Schmo? Like, I probably would have swapped out Joe Morton and one of the friend guys because there was like two of them. I was like, dude, give him that role where they're having scenes. I think it would have worked better than the therapist is just nothing. Is a nothing role. Like,
Yeah, I definitely think I agree with you, Woj, on that and the spin-off prequel. I had the was Norman a serial killer? And the Norman prequel, he's been doing this a while. It kind of reminded me of like, and we've ever seen the Stepfather,
yes.
where he's like been doing this and he keeps changing his identity.
Right.
It kind of reminded me of that a little bit, where I could see that kind of situation with a
That
prequel.
was with Dylan
Walsh
Ma-
from
Dylan
Nip
Walsh
Tuck.
from
Sean
Nip Tuck.
McNamara.
Yes.
Great series.
Yeah. I just finished rewatching it like a couple months ago.
There
Bobby,
we go.
you have a
You have a
R.I.P.
spin-off or
The
Julian.
prequel that I'd be curious on is we really don't hear much about his dad. We know that his father passed.
They hint at it a couple times.
but
Julian
I'm curious.
McMahon,
I'm curious that
Shout out.
right, Norman, right? That's his name.
Norman Spencer.
Norman Spencer.
Greg Norman was a golfer, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Greg Norman was a golfer.
The shark.
Yeah. And he did have a beard.
Did have a beard, yeah, nice.
No, but I would be curious if we did a prequel where his dad kind of showed him the ropes. Maybe his dad was a serial killer, or basically like, hey, women, like call it like devalued women, but less than human. They serve their purpose, and this is how we go about getting.
He's very sociopathic, and then like he's like, this is just Tuesday for me. Like,
right.
there's
So
no
I'm thinking that's a
emotion,
learned behavior. So I'd say maybe on the before the dad passes, a lot of skeletons get buried with him dying. So
It could be. I could see both. Yeah. Tip
So,
pass. Son of a
We on the
bitch.
Switcheroo then?
Yeah. Let's go to Switcheroo.
All right. This is secretly Norman had a previous life as Dr. Richard Kimball in Chicago.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And maybe he did actually murder his wife in The Fugitive. And
Yeah,
maybe he's been murdering a lot of wives. And he's been, like we said, it kind of leans into what we said with the prequel thing, but more specifically with the Richard Kimball angle. And, that kind of thing I think would be interesting.
I think you could have kind of not combined per se, but at least seen Johnny Depp in The Window,
Oh, yeah.
like in his lake house cabin things, and
Yeah.
like their
Secret
paths
window, that's great.
their
yeah.
paths either intertwining or like again just a passerby. I also kind of thought like Scream possibly could work, but it's unfortunately I was thinking about the age gap. Like if Norman and Claire were like in their like late 30s, I could maybe see it a little bit more, but like the kids from Scream are like supposed to be 18, right, in high school or just in college.
16 or 17.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I thought I put Scream question mark because I'm like, it doesn't work. Maybe
you were
maybe
yellow
not.
light on it.
I guess a shared scene is Cape Fear. You guys remember
Ooh,
that?
Yeah.
With De Niro.
With De Niro. Now, keep in mind, Norman Spencer might be younger in his academia, and you see Robert De Niro as him being the Cape Fear dude, because I think he targeted younger women,
Sure.
but like students at I think that'd be a fun little tie-in because I think it's all East Coast too, like Northeast too, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't necessarily. I thought it was in Maine, but I could be mistaken.
Well, Maine and where they're at, Connecticut or
did you say Northeast? Sorry,
Northeast, yes.
I thought
It
you said
looks like it'd be in the
Northwest,
same
my bad.
region.
I think it's the same. So I think it's plausible. I guess that's
Very
my
plausible.
throw-in.
All right, we good to move on.
Yep.
Picking Nits.
Yes. Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shout
out if you can.
Your dog goes running off, and you pretty much are just like, damn it, Coop. All right, I guess. Now, keep in mind the dog is a huskier breed. It's meant for the outdoors. So I guess maybe they're not as nervous. Maybe they leave their dog outside, here and there. But for me, she's having a fucking mental episode, and then your dog goes running off. Maybe mention it to your husband or mention it to your neighbor, like, hey, our dog Cooper, kind of got spooked. If you guys see him, could you just call us? Like, I'm sorry, I love dogs, I love pets. I wouldn't just be like, when he comes back. Sorry, that's not how I operate, but sorry, that was just me and my whole, yeah.
Okay. I just gotta point out, movie typing is always fucking awful. I don't know anybody who knows how to type on a. They do a lot of this where it's like.
Oh, with him on his laptop?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of forced.
It's always bad. I've never seen somebody I'm like, oh, it's a great typing. You know what? I take it back. I will give you one guy that's in Swordfish, fucking.
Love Swordfish. Great movie.
Wolverine, Hugh Jackman.
Colin.
Love Halle Berry's tits in that movie.
Hugh Jackman is in Swordfish.
Oh.
And he does this typing. Like, he actually does a pretty
Hugh
decent.
Jackman. I thought it was Colin Farrell for real.
No, Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
Aussie.
They may not do the typing well in What Lies Means, but they do have a cool. I like the realistic scene when they're at dinner with the couples and both couples are having each conversation with at the same time. A lot of times in movies, it's always one person talks. And
right.
Yeah, I like that.
That's realistic.
It was realistic. It was like, oh, I'm talking to you and you're talking to me and we're both talking.
Can we agree that both of these gentlemen, who are obviously academia professors or some level of top echelon in the scientific community, they have trophy wives or trophy, girlfriends at that point, because I think there's definitely a 20-year age gap between A and B for most of them, right?
Well, I mean, not between Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer. They're maybe 10.
But could you the attractiveness level? I think well, he's a good-looking guy, but for most part, I thought the other dude outkicked his coverage for sure. But I'm just saying, in general, if I was in that a scientific field and I know that I'm this close to a Nobel Prize, I'm going to Derek Jeter this and keep my options open until I'm 70, because I think that they could easily attract any type of female who's drawn to an intellectual person. I don't know. I'm thinking that Harrison Ford definitely could have played the field more instead of tried to get married to a woman who had a kid who whose husband died.
I mean, unfortunately, you don't get the backstory of why.
That's why I wish there was more backstory.
Harrison Ford,
because it didn't line up for me.
Not settling, but choosing Claire, but also I don't know, is he trying to live the double life of this is my home, this is my area or whatever, and then I'm gonna also do this stuff on the side, or is he just I'm trying to lay low for a while, get a backstory, get the credentials down so that he can then move to a different place, do it something else.
Maybe.
There's just a couple quick continuity errors. How does she turn the light down on the bedside table? She just kind of turns over and you can't see anything, so it just looks like the light goes down. Christy maybe said oh, well, there might be a cord at the bottom. I'm like, why the fuck would there be a cord at the bottom? Is a cord on the lamp?
I didn't notice that part.
Yeah, no, that's a
really
deep,
real
picky
quick one. I'm not digging the sexy to out fuck your neighbors. Let's do it so we can compete with them. I don't get that. I don't get him flipping open the windows to go like,
Well, because
let's give him a show.
it's
honey.
showing them that they're like a real couple. They're playful and they like each other and they they have
I can
fun.
understand that a little bit. Yeah,
I think it's the set to make it more to make also Harrison Ford look more like a good guy, and then so when the transition at the end happens, it's better. Like you're like, oh shit, like I didn't see that, and also you believe that they're a real couple, like like real.
You know what would have been a real couple thing for him to open the windows and say, "Shut the fuck up, trying to get some sleep."
Well, I think it's fun. They're doing a playful thing. Like we're gonna let's show these young kids what we got, like or whatever. Like
the picking.
I would have yelled out, "You know what? Shut the fuck up, me." Sorry, go ahead.
I guess he doesn't. He's not like Ashley Schaefer. He doesn't like the windows getting all steamed up.
Let him watch.
He turned up to about 82.
One thing that I guess call it a picky nit was I think the conclusion or transition of the wife going to the Frank's house, like her mother's house, and she's like, "Hi, I'm here." It's like if I'm the mother, I'd be like, "Okay, fuck off," Like I didn't understand the depth in it. Like granted she wanted to better understand maybe the inclinations she was feeling, but if I'm her mother, like my daughter's been missing for 18 months and I've probably gone through a mental roller coaster. I don't want to talk about it probably much.
They've
anymore.
had this in movies where they visit the
I don't
family
like
member,
and then they say,
and they're like, I don't know.
They always say like, I've had it enough, with you people trying to seek out the,
and she's like, no, I just want to understand, or usually it's like,
Same
trope.
trope.
I knew your daughter, or they lie about knowing the daughter,
Yes,
and then
right.
since they feel bad, they want to share their daughter's life with them. And the thing I would say is like, I can't believe she took the lock of hair and the mom didn't notice. Like my daughter's hair is gone.
Yeah.
Just didn't see that.
Kind of out there. Obviously, again, scary movies and psychological thrillers. Probably call the police at some point. You have a shoe with blood on it. I know like overreacting and stuff, but I'm like, you think that this person it would have been a nice even more so red herring to kind of be like, oh, the police check it out, nothing's going on, but they don't believe it.
I would say in this case, since Harrison Ford is the murderer and is guilty of things, he didn't want the police looking into anything with them. Maybe
Sure,
so
I
he's
can
like
understand that.
Trying to squash that and just be like, honey, you're crazy, or whatever. I don't know, but I see what you're saying. But I think in his case, since they're just crushing him, since he was also a guilty man himself, that he doesn't want them snooping around.
Yeah, I get that. Very intellectual killer. This is a multi-million-dollar house on the lake. It's like
another picky nit. Sorry,
stories.
was if my wife goes and accuses someone of murder. That guy, I know at the next dinner party, he was joking. Sorry, I'm not going to be so jovial or that's your neighbor at this point. I'm like, dude, you just burnt a huge bridge because she meant it. Every word she said coming out, you murdered your wife. God, I would not be the next time I see her, haha. I would have been like, fuck you, bitch.
But then his wife led her on, was
okay,
crying.
No, yeah. Like I said, I think a little bit of that lends itself to that type of. I guess accusation, but I'm saying his jokingness at the next dinner party. I'd have a concrete wall up.
I would guess that the wife said something to him and was like, "Hey, just so you know, she was acting crazy because I did so and so. I did this, and maybe
what? Yeah, well, yeah, that'd have to be expressed. But that was the one thing I was like, I think the dude being kind of comedic about it, I wouldn't be. Yeah. Someone accuses me of murder, I guess I'm not so yes, Storm Edison, baby.
All right, you like that one. I got a real problem with
You got a real problem.
Settle
down,
door,
smart ass.
Door flips open multiple times. No, I'm not believing that your door is that faulty that it pops fully open 3 times. No, get the fuck out of here. The picture frame falling off multiple times. What are we doing here? That's crazy.
Well, she thinks the house is haunted. She says it. I think
3rd time, the radio just turns on. I'm out the door. I'm moving to Connecticut. I'm not. We're in Connecticut. I'm moving to fucking Boise, Idaho. At that point, get the fuck out of here.
Well, again, she thinks that this stuff's happening, but he does not. So I think that
it's also though just the thing of everybody just stays in the place. That's all I'm mentioning with scary movies. We're just gonna stay here where all the shit's happening.
I think usually, again, it's more of like one person believes, one person doesn't, so you kind of just stick with them. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Dogs always know something's up. in
Always, we
horror.
talked about it.
Yeah.
Oculus.
Always barking at some
I
shit
trust
or
a dog,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Conjuring, Oculus, Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
There's many examples. They know what's going on.
Yeah,
Dog doesn't like you. There's something wrong with you. Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned the cinematic shot, dude, but she is just shit at tracking people. How the fuck do you not follow this guy? Just like, okay, he's over here, now over here. She was all over the place. She's like, what's over here? What's over here?
Not to sound like a psycho, if you're ever going to do that kind of shit, you want to sit in the back of the room and you want it to be dark in the room. It'd be harder to pick that up.
Yeah, I also thought that she wasn't
You
like
would be standing right next to the window.
No, but she wasn't like super visible,
She was
and then she acted like, oh my god, like he's fucking right there.
Well,
I'm like,
from the camera view, it looked like he was looking directly into the lenses.
correct.
Right.
I had one. It's more of like an addition, not really a picking it. More of like, hey, let's cut the psychiatrist scene, or sorry, the therapist scenes.
Yeah.
And let's add instead in the beginning a quick, like a prequel kind of scene, or not prequel, like a
how they fell in love.
like no, like showing.
I'm okay with that.
Showing a quick thing of them at that dinner that the picture frame is in, and her like having this weird look, and we're not knowing why, and she
Right.
looks into the crowd and is like, and then her getting in the car accident, and then like just cutting
Yes,
really
a little
quick
bit.
away from it, and
Yeah.
then it'd be
Like
like
snippets.
and then it starts from the movie where it starts, and then we'll be like, oh, what happened with the car accident?
Right, that would build
and then
up.
we find out more throughout the movie.
This guy.
and we find out
Producer, God
why
tier.
why this dinner is so important. Well, something happened because they showed it in the beginning,
Sure.
instead of just the picture frame. And I mean, I know it kind of goes along with the mystery of it, but I still don't think.
I think yours would at least evoke more
Yeah,
questions.
I don't
It
think
would
what
give me-
I don't think what I'm proposing would take away from it. Would give you a little bit of context,
Little bit,
but you
little
still
bit.
be like, what's going on?
Right.
I think it would work still.
Yeah, I just sorry adding in for
Sure.
the last thing that I was saying about like other things like fog in the bathroom. I'm out. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
Oh, it's steam from the hot tub.
that's not steam. Fog is low, like on the ground, and this was literally like steam from the bathroom. You could kind of see in the
I get what
air.
you're saying, though. You're right. It was sitting lower.
It's like low emanating from the doorway. I'm like, I'm
And the other
I'm not going in there.
I'm curious if you guys picked up on this. Piggynet of mine is actually in the last 30 minutes. They definitely used like a stage or CGI when they're doing the filming of the truck on the bridge and some of the other stuff, like her in
Like
the
the
cell phone.
pole falling through the
and
back
all
window.
that and all that other stuff. I was like, you guys kind of phoned it in a little bit. Like I could easily tell that there was a change, and like a lot of it was, green screened, and I was just like,
I would just pull back on that, because you got to think, dude, this is 2000. So this is like
I get that.
25 years ago. I think for being a 25-year-old
I think it was
movie,
great, yeah.
I think it looks pretty good. Like
Pretty
a lot of
good,
the
yeah.
shots still hold up. Now, could it be better? Sure, but there are movies that come out today that are like way worse.
Oh, okay.
So, but I see they could have sharpened it up a little.
They
bit.
could have sharpened it,
Yeah.
and I guess I'm using like Terminator and stuff like that as like a reference point.
I mean,
because
Zemeckis is one of the better visual directors.
he is.
So
No, that was the only part of it where I was like, shit. If they would have tightened it up just a little bit, because for me, I could easily tell like that transition. I was like, fuck.
It didn't bother me.
It didn't-
It was very quick and not super important. But like I see what you're saying.
No, it was
Yeah.
also on the bridge. Yes, you caught that, but it was prior to that, even on the bridge. So yeah.
Well, did you have a picking it with the cell phone you were going to mention earlier?
Yeah, I'm gonna save that one for the last one. But
Okay, sorry, I know you didn't
the
want-
joke about killing the wife.
Oh,
Nah, he's going down though. Great run.
let's
But,
go.
It's got a 20-yard
The
scamper.
joke about like killing the wife across the room, like, oh,
That was
like,
funny.
It was funny, but I was like, who the fuck? Like, that's a psychotic thing to do in a room.
He's a funny guy.
room full of
He's
people.
like-
Funny guy.
But it's
Funny
also
how?
it's also saying like, hey, you're crazy.
Yeah, I think it was insensitive with the wife
It's like,
for
go
sure.
fuck yourself,
But I
lady.
thought it was funny. It's like,
It's funny. I just like that's a little interesting to do.
I think it's showing that his character has a sense of humor and also can't read the room because he doesn't know that she's
Definitely
crazy.
so. And then again, continuity errors. There was like the hair was wet in the tub, then it was dry, then it
Sure.
was wet. That's all good. It happens. The one I'm gonna end on here is like those movies in 2000. It's not 1992. It's not when cell phones just came out and metal beams could maybe affect the wavelengths.
I mean, it wasn't the same as it is now, though.
The fact that this was their reasoning for her not being able to make a call, my phone doesn't work in the center of the bridge
Until you get to the center of the bridge.
is fucking piss poor. Either way, just get the fuck
Maybe they're in a
out
dead zone. There used to be dead zones, remember?
Dead-
That was a thing. Dead zones were a thing.
It's also a TV show.
Dude, but I'm not going to, but okay, for example, in real life, when I had a cell phone back in the day, I still have one, obviously, but my old cell phone, my downstairs where I usually hung out, I did not get reception. Nothing was coming in there. I could not. So there are certain spots, maybe that part of their town, there's not a lot of
zones. I get
cell
that.
towers. And again, they weren't as prevalent back then as they are now.
Shout out to the can. What was your first cell phone? I had a Nextel Chirp.
Oh, I had
that was, yeah, I know.
I know what it is, but I don't know what it was. Like a silver flip phone, LG.
Razr?
Verizon Wireless. No, before that. Non-color screen, like black and white or green or whatever.
Okay. All right. What
no
about you,
camera
Woj?
phone on it.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I had a LG flip phone. I don't know the model.
I have the
make and
model. I Googled it before, but I don't know
I
off
had
the top
the
of my
Chirp.
head.
Chirp. You know, hey, we're
Oh yeah,
The
you like a
Nextels?
walkie-talkie.
Also, I didn't get my cell phone until I was a freshman in high school, 14 years old.
I
think
was
it was
a little bit later.
I think it was
that.
junior high, maybe 13.
I know that one. Yeah. I used to call 1-800-COLLECT when I was a freshman, and I'd be like, call my
we'll
parents.
put a picture up.
I did. I was like, I'd call 1-800-COLLECT after like practice. I'd be like, hey, Ma, pick me up, and then hang up. You got a call from, hey, Ma, pick me up.
Hey, Mom, pick me up. Yeah, the collect call thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, it's a boy.
You remember
They
that?
had
Right
commercial.
outside of Schaumburg, we used to have that payphone.
They had
I
that
used it
commercial.
all the time.
Hey, Bob, it's a boy.
Yeah,
Payphones.
we ought a baby eats a boy.
Yeah.
Payphones were
Do you want to
nuts.
accept the call? No, I don't want to accept the call.
So yeah,
Bobby
I mean
got a
that was what lies beneath.
Yeah.
Should we
dude. Wrap it up?
Read it.
Let's rate it.
Wrap it up.
For me, I'm probably gonna go with this one as a stream. I think this is one that I could easily see myself, though. Again, as we kind of started like a spooky month type of thing, going back to it is again a good psychological thriller, and again, I even enjoy that. Again, the first time watching it through, you are kind of like, well, I didn't pick up everything. So the next, I'm kind of yearning to watch it again, so I can be like, oh, let me pick up some other stuff that I totally didn't pick up on or forgot or something like that. I'm going to go an 8.1.
Okay.
I think that's my solid score for first time through. What do you got?
Yeah. I don't own it, but I think it's worthy of owning. I'm gonna go own.
Okay.
It's at least very high on the streaming, but I would say I would own it. Like I think it's got great shots, and like we said, Zemeckis directed it, so it's well made.
I'd be curious about the special features. Honestly, that's why I'd own it.
Got great performances from seasoned actors, Harrison Ford and Michelle Pfeiffer, and like we said, it changes the movie type of is like 3 times, but it works really well. And this is a movie where I liked it more as it went along, especially the last third of it. And I really liked it the more I thought about it when it ended. And I kept thinking about the different shots, the camera shots, the different way they use the scares, the acting, and the suspense, and how it wasn't like necessarily the like a paranormal thing, but it had elements of it, but it also had elements of this. And it really touched a lot of fields. And I like that. I think it was really well made. You don't get to see... They don't make movies like this anymore where it's like $100 million budget horror movie with 2 big stars. Now it'd be like made for like $5 million and, a low budget, 1 room or something, or so.
Those end up usually doing better.
I think a lot of these movies around this time, like the 90s and early 2000s, are kind of like people are sleeping on them, but now when you watch them today, you're like, this is actually pretty good. I think it's worth, so I'm going to give it a 8.4.
Okay.
And I could go higher more the more I watch it, I think. It's really good.
Okay.
I think I'm going to kind of follow on to that. I really feel that if you watch this a few times through, you pick up on different details. I think this is definitely one. I would own if it's like one of those things I saw in Walmart or if you're in one of these college stores that they're selling them for like, hey, you buy 2 for like $6 or something like that. And this is part of it because it is a 25-year-old movie. To get a few bucks from it, hey, why not? So this is something I would own. I thought that, like you said, that the cast, the layers of this too, the lefts and right. It was a curvy road in terms of a plot. Great cinematic shots.
Really holds up.
It does. I give it an 8.6.
Nice.
A little bit higher than you guys, but I've seen it a few more times. Are there a few things that I would change or maybe shorten up or expand upon? Yeah, but great thriller horror movie. So yeah.
Really pronounce that OR there.
I
buddy.
tried to.
And Clark Gregg wrote it. That's crazy.
Yeah, it isn't nuts.
That is a fun factoid. Yeah. All right, who's next on the
It's me.
docket?
It's me.
It's me.
So I'm gonna,
me.
I'm gonna close out spooky season, and I'm gonna
right.
go another spooky movie. Well, more of a sci-fi spooky movie.
Oh, here we go.
I've been leering to it, and talking about it. I've been wanting to do it for a while. We're gonna do Alien. Alien,
Yes.
1979, Ridley Scott.
You got to open it
Alien.
up with the original, man. There's about 9 different sequels.
Well, yeah, and I've been
Aliens is the best.
Really, you really only need to see the first 2.
Yeah. thank you.
Well, and I like the newer ones, like the some of the prequels, but the first 2 are essential, and the other ones, are hit or miss. But I've been wanting to do this for a while, and then I'm also happy now that we can do this. Some down the road, I can do Aliens, which I think it's a debate. Which is better? They're both really
They're both
great.
fantastic, yeah.
I think honestly for me, depends what mood I'm in. I flip flop all the time on
Flip-flop.
it, but I'm looking forward to going over an
I
official,
love it.
an official review.
Sigourney.
Alien.
Yeah.
Coming
Yes.
at you.
Oh, and by the way, What Lies Beneath is streaming for free on YouTube,
Go check it out.
Pluto TV, and it's on Paramount Plus if you have that.
So after you like, subscribe, and leave us a comment, you could go watch it
And
yourself.
if you want to watch Alien in preparation for the pod next week, it's on Hulu.
Oh, there you go.
There you
Hulu.
go. Ryan does his research. All right. So the Journeymen Lounge podcast is going to button up episode 108, part 2 with the movie review. Thanks for tuning in. All right. We're going to flip it over to Ryan's. What was the movie we just? Alien, right?
Alien.
Alien. Sorry.
Ridley Scott,
Got lost.
1979.
Sigourney Weaver, yeah.
Fucking can't wait for that shit, man. It's one of those ones that are you needed to do, but it was like you got to do it in the first pass through. You can't go 3 years in and then go like, hey, we're gonna do Alien.
It's been on my list. Like I said, I've done a lot of other
it's been
ones.
in your queue for a while.
And I feel like this is the right time where it's, spooky season is a more sci-fi horror, but obviously still a big part of the horror genre. Score. Come on. Damn. So yeah, I'm excited to do it. I love Alien. I'm a big fan of the Alien franchise.
Yeah, Ryan's really up there. Some movies like 13 going on 30 though is still his best. His favorite.
Alien is a close second to 13 going on 30. Now that you mention it, yeah.
Close second.
I love Jennifer Garner and Mark Ruffalo. They're very good.
vying for your top honor there. But all right, a Journeymen Lounge podcast for Woj
And Ryan.
And Bobby.
We'll talk to y'all
Deuces.
when we can.
Yeah. We will ride again.
Adios, amigos.
Ladies on the menu.